Konnichiwa from the Suzuka circuit in Japan. This unique track is a favourite home for motorsports, and it welcomes us back this weekend. Get ready for exhilaration and speed with the Japanese Grand Prix. It's shaping up to be a great weekend, so don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome to the much anticipated qualifying session.
Suzuka is a notorious circuit both for its unpredictable weather and the difficulty of closely following other cars. Making the right call on when to head out to avoid traffic and dirty air can make all the difference here.
We're looking at McLaren here. Karun, how do you think their driver will be feeling today?
While neither teammate has really managed to score well so far, perhaps picking up a few points this weekend would spur on a bit of healthy rivalry.
Strap yourselves in. This is Formula One.
Hello everybody and welcome to round 6 of the 2024 Formula One World Cup. My name is Chris, otherwise known as CFRacing, and it is a wet qualifying session here in Japan. DRS is enabled, but the track is completely wet at the moment, so I don't know if anybody's going to be going on track. But before we start looking at who's going to be racing this weekend, we're going to take a look at what happened last week in Singapore, and Charles Leclerc ended up being your winner as Verstappen did not score any points at all last race in Singapore, which is quite unfortunate. This weekend in Japan, Charles Leclerc is not racing, but they do. But the international team does have Japanese driver Yuki Tsunoda taking Charles Leclerc's place this weekend. Any other drivers who are going to be driving this weekend? Let's see, take a look at the standings here. Isaac Hadjar is replacing Esteban Ocon, and George Russell is actually taking part in his third race today. He's taking part instead of Lando Norris, and Mahavir Ragunathan is doing his second session today, and he's going to be racing instead of Kush Maini, which is very exciting to see Mahavir Ragunathan back in the car. But now, going into the standings, Charles Leclerc has 83 points compared to Max Verstappen 62. If Verstappen has a good weekend this weekend, as like I said before, Charles Leclerc isn't racing, then it could be a pretty close title fight going into Jeddah, Brazil, Canada, and Vegas, the final 4 rounds. And if you look at the constructor standings, the United Kingdom currently is on top. All 3 of their drivers are in the top 7 in terms of points. That's why they're very high up there. None of them or 2 of them are tied on 33. That's Russell and Norris, and Hamilton's on 44. So good to see all 3 drivers from the United Kingdom performing well. Team International has 83 points from Charles Leclerc and 25 from Alexander Albon. But other than that, Tsunoda hasn't scored, but hopefully he scores today in Japan. And the last 2 races have been absolutely 0 points scored for the Netherlands. They're currently down in 4th now in the standings. They need a good performance today. In Spain, they didn't have Alonso last time out, and it definitely hurt their chances, as in the last 2 races, just like the Netherlands, no points for Team Spain. So they definitely want to bounce back today. But we're currently here in Q1, wet track, and yeah, absolutely nobody is going out right now. Okay, looks like we have Mahavir Ragunathan going to be testing the track here, same as Nicholas Latifi. And why is it paused? I don't know why that was paused there. But Latifi is currently the only guy, and Mahavir Ragunathan, going out on a lap at the moment. It's looking like with 4 minutes to go here, Nicholas Latifi, the guy who set the fastest or the first lap time, is still fastest overall. Everybody else is going out for their final couple laps. I believe everybody did do laps already. Latifi, I don't think this is going to be a good time for him to do a lap, as everybody's on the laps, and there's going to be a bunch of traffic. You can already see Latifi is he's in sector 1. We'll see if he can go green. Obviously, I think he's going to, because the track currently is damp now, and they did their first laps on wet tires, but there's going to be a lot of traffic. This is not looking good for the GOAT, Nicholas Latifi. He's probably going to be eliminated here in Q1. Let's go on board Latifi, as he has to navigate through 21 different cars, what it looks like. He is currently yellow in sector 1. Everybody else, like I said, is on their laps. I don't know why they sent him out so early, especially with all this traffic that's going to be going on here. He might have a good middle sector. He gets a little bit held up there, unless he just got a really poor exit. But Nicholas Latifi, previous podium sitter, his first ever F1 related podium was last time out in Singapore. He had a great performance. Let's see what his middle sector can be as he comes out of these couple corners, and then once he goes to 130R, that's when this sector ends. There goes, you can see his teammate Lance Stroll there. Everybody's on their outlaps right now. We're going to come down to the final 3 minutes here in Q1, see what everybody can do. But what can Nicholas Latifi do? He's still currently down on his fastest overall lap time, which is honestly a pretty good lap. This could be good enough for him to make it in, and you can see all the traffic. Yeah, I don't think Latifi's going to improve here. Speaking of improving, Yuki Tsunoda, home hero in Japan. This is his second race in the World Cup so far. He raced, when did he race before? I can't remember. Tsunoda, he did a race, I believe it was in Silverstone or the Netherlands, another wet race, and Tsunoda didn't perform very well. But now he's racing in his home track of Japan here at the Suzuka circuit, as Charles Leclerc is sitting this one out, as he hasn't sat out once in this World Cup yet so far, but Charles Leclerc is leading the standings. We have Tsunoda, Ocon, Ricciardo, Vettel, and Nico Hulkenberg all green in Sector 1. Russell now has the fastest first Sector 1 for the United Kingdom. He is in excellent form, and the United Kingdom told me they're going to be swapping their 3 drivers out, so all 3 of them are going to keep racing for the next 4 Grand Prix here. Currently, we are on Grand Prix number 6. Latifi did finish his lap. He's still fastest overall. I don't think he improved. He probably will get knocked out unless everybody gets screwed over by the impeding. But we'll just have to see here as Yuki Tsunoda comes across the line. Will this be enough to make it at least into Q2 as Tsunoda puts his car into 5th? We have wet weather god Lance Stroll. He's racing pretty quick, but we're going to take a look at Esteban Ocon as he rounds 130R. See where he could put this car. There's still a minute 46 left. I don't know if people are going to be doing 2, maybe 3 laps here, but let's see if Esteban Ocon for the French team can make it into Q2 with this lap. Javier Ragunathan puts that car into P8. Pretty good lap for him. We also have Daruvala. He's currently in Sector 1. Everybody is green at the moment, and the only guy purple at the moment is Lance Stroll. But now he's yellow in Sector 2 because he's being held up by this Italian car, which I believe that has to be Andrea Kimi Antonelli. Yes, it is Andrea Kimi Antonelli. Let's see if Antonelli can improve enough to make his car get into Q2. But that really does slow up Lance Stroll's lap time as Verstappen sets a purple Sector 3. He's easily into Q2. Nobody's finished at the moment here. Alonso's looked like he's going pretty slow as we got Stroll. Antonelli is only in the 18th. That's clearly going to ruin Lance Stroll's lap. Antonelli was incredibly slow. What about Daruvala as he is now stuck behind his teammate Javier Ragunathan? Can both Team India cars get knocked out here just due to the terrible traffic? What is Daruvala doing? That is so... What is Javier Ragunathan doing as Daruvala is probably going to be knocked out here? As Javier Ragunathan is still in Q3. We see all Hadjar, Antonelli, Crawford, everybody has set laps. I think Javier Ragunathan, out of all the drivers in the world, has made it into Q3 at this moment, Q2, excuse me, at this moment. Incredible job for Javier, and at the moment, I believe Carlos Sainz, Jehan Daruvala, Fernando Alonso, Jack Crawford, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, and Isaac Hadjar are all going to be eliminated. Very shocking today. Somehow Javier Ragunathan has made it into Q2. I don't think he ever did that even in Formula 2. I don't think he made like the top 15 in Formula 2 before. But today he's currently P10 in Q1 and nobody is on a lap. Very interesting here today at the end of Q1. Yeah, and as you can see, both Spanish cars of Carlos Sainz and Fernando Alonso eliminated in Q1. They must have had incredible amounts of traffic. Isaac Hadjar did a 137.9. He was the slowest driver overall, and Max Verstappen did a 135.7. He's looking really quick. Somehow Latifi on those wets was still in 3rd, so I guess that we were still in the crossover period. But yeah, a lot of guys eliminated. We have a grid penalty for Javier Ragunathan. Probably for impeding, but we'll have to see once the race starts, I guess. Now here at the end of Q2, we have some major shocks today as Javier Ragunathan, not a shock there, eliminated in P16. Latifi in P15. Nick De Vries driving for the Netherlands is 14th. Esteban Ocon 13th for France in P12. Sebastian Vettel. But the big name to fall is Max Verstappen. He put that car into P11. They did all one lap to start, and then the track did not improve. It got wetter as the second lap started, and nobody could improve from their first laps. So we're going to see what's going to happen in Q3 here. Unfortunately, I can't watch, but it's going to simulate right now. And, okay, I just saw Lance Stroll on pole, but Yuki Tsunoda qualifies in P10 with Alexander Albon in P9. Logan Sargeant qualifies that United States car in P8 with Daniel Ricciardo P7, George Russell 6th, Oscar Piastri in 5th, Lewis Hamilton in 4th with Antonio Giovinazzi in 3rd. What a qualifying for him. He seems to be very good in the wet. Nico Hulkenberg puts that car up into P2, and Lance Stroll takes his second ever pole position, first in this World Cup, but second ever in the wet. Incredible job for Lance Stroll. And now, guys, we're going to get on to the race in Japan.
It won't be long before we get underway here in Japan with 53 figure-of-8 laps around this historic circuit.
Anything can happen at Suzuka, as Kimi Raikkonen proved in 2005. The Finn battled all the way from 17th to win. Will we see a similar show of will and talent today, I wonder?
Drivers will battle it out this weekend on the snaking turns of Suzuka, the only figure-of-8 track in Formula One. High-speed downforce will be the name of the game here, if teams want to secure a place on that podium. Welcome to race day, and before we get down to it, last-minute checks are being made. The anticipation is really building here. The fans in attendance are absolutely buzzing with excitement. Amidst the noise and fanfare of the occasion, a crucial moment now to concentrate.
For P17, you know, they could try and be clever here, and then who knows what they could manage.
This should certainly be a good one, folks. Get ready.
After a completely washed out qualifying and had Lance Stroll on pole, we got the 5 red lights, and it's a quick and instant 5 red lights. And Lance Stroll gets off very well as Nico Hulkenberg is in P2, and Giovinazzi's up to P2. Hulkenberg gets off pretty poorly as Lance Stroll has ended up in the lead at the end of turn 1 here. Lance Stroll on softs. Everybody looks like they are starting on softs except Hamilton, Sargeant, and Daruvala, who are all on medium tires, and Hulkenberg is hounding the back of Lance Stroll at the moment. No championship leader Charles Leclerc today as he's taking this race off and give Yuki Tsunoda a chance to drive in front of his home fans. As we saw yesterday in qualifying, it was very wet, and today it is incredibly dry here in Japan as Hulkenberg is giving no inches to Lance Stroll today. That doesn't sound very good. As Hulkenberg, he's trying to go side by side for the lead of this race here on lap 1 as Lance Stroll does defend. Now Hulkenberg's trying to go through the inside, but Lance Stroll puts that car in a good defensive position here as he maintains the lead. We had a terrible qualifying. We got great battles between Albon and Tsunoda, but we had a terrible qualifying for Max Verstappen, who put that car into P11. I believe the teams didn't know it was going to be dry for the race today, but he still qualified P11. I guess Max Verstappen did have a dry setup, but I mean, he's still got to get up there, and it's going to be a hard race for Verstappen today. Instead of being a hard race today, it's going to be between, looks like, Lance Stroll and Nico Hulkenberg. We have a couple-time podium sitter in F1 versus Hulkenberg, who's never scored a podium in Formula 1. You can see there's Antonio Giovinazzi and Oscar Piastri, who's been performing pretty decent lately. Piastri in the last 2 races has scored 12 points, 6 and 6 on each of the races, and we should have DRS enabled maybe at the end of this lap as we have Piastri setting the fastest lap of the race heading down into turn 1. We got Hulkenberg side by side with Lance Stroll. It's going to be a dicey one. Can Lance Stroll defend against Nico Hulkenberg into turn 1 here? Good to see Team Canada and Team Germany. We had a Team Canada podium last time out with Nicholas Latifi out of all people, for real, as Lance Stroll does end up defending Nico Hulkenberg here. Incredible driving for the Canadian, defending against the German. I would love to see a Nico Hulkenberg podium in today's video, but you never know how these races are going to turn out. It could be a strategic battle today, or it's going to be a DRS train. I mean, DRS is going to be enabled down the next straight here as Hulkenberg is looking a lot quicker than Lance Stroll at the moment here. As Hulkenberg, he's just trying to see if Lance Stroll will make a mistake, but I don't think Lance is making a mistake. Lance Stroll's driving very, very well right now, which is what you really want to see. As Albon and Tsunoda have been battling lap after lap here. Tsunoda driving for his home fans as this is second and probably going to be his last race in this World Cup. Unless he does perform better than Albon, they might consider swapping him. But you know Charles Leclerc is going to want to be back in that car next race, that's for sure. As Hulkenberg is now back in the slipstream of Lance Stroll. Is he going to try and make a move through 130R? That's a very daring place to try and make an overtake, and he thinks better of it and is probably going to get DRS now. down the main straight, as it looks like that's Lewis Hamilton, who's losing time to Oscar Piastri, as we have a battle between Piastri and Antonio Giovinazzi, as Giovinazzi gets run off the track, Piastri gets run off the track. Now we got Hamilton battling Daniel Ricciardo as well, but we're going to have Nico Hulkenberg now in the DRS as Lance Stroll's trying to put him. Oh, we did a little bit of a cutback there. Hulkenberg is now going to go side by side on the outside of Lance Stroll into turn 1 here in Japan. This is going to be a great battle as Stroll defends it once again. Excellent defensive moves there by the Canadian. Now we have Hamilton up into P5. I guess he overtook, or I think he defended against Daniel Ricciardo. It is a beautiful sunny day in Japan today after we had terrible qualifying conditions yesterday. What a great day we have in Japan. I love the sun. The sun is so beautiful here. And look at that, we got, oh, Hamilton and Ricciardo now, side by side, the Brit and the German, or not the German, the Brit and the Australian. I can't believe I said German. The Brit and the Australian battling. What is this, 2014? This is very exciting here between the two. It looks like Hamilton now is trying to catch up to the back of Oscar Piastri. It says 2.1 seconds. That's the gap to the leader. What is the gap? The interval, it is under a second now. Now it is back over a second. So Hamilton is not going to have DRS here. So that could be a huge moment in this race for Daniel Ricciardo to get up and score more points for Team Australia, because currently in the driver standings, or in the constructors and drivers, Australia is right in the middle of the pack. They have 43 points. They need to be scoring more, as we have Hamilton and Ricciardo side by side. Ricciardo's been scoring more points than Oscar Piastri in this World Cup, but Piastri has been getting stronger later on, as we got Giovinazzi battling Nico Hulkenberg for P2 around this final corner here. Will this give Lance Stroll a time to get away, or both gets the DRS on Lance Stroll? Would Lance Stroll go from first to third in a matter of a straightaway here, as we're about to go 4 wide here on lap number 4 as Antonio Giovinazzi's in the lead. Lance Stroll goes down from first all the way down to 4th in a matter of 1 straightaway, as we have both Great Britain cars, as Hamilton just ran, oh, that was Russell just running George Russell into the grass. But I can't believe we just saw 4 wide action between Antonio Giovinazzi, Nico Hulkenberg, Oscar Piastri, and Lance Stroll, and nobody was taken out there. That is incredible racing by these drivers today, as we have Piastri now going for P2, and he's up into P2. The Australian, this is one of his first ever podiums in Formula 1. It was Japan. It was in 2023. And now, can Oscar Piastri send it to Giovinazzi for the lead? He does not, but the Italian now. This is the first time, actually, that's not the first time Antonio Giovinazzi has led an F1 machinery, because I believe in the 2019 Singapore Grand Prix, Antonio Giovinazzi led a couple laps for Alfa Romeo back then. That's a cool little fun fact that I'm sure not a lot of you guys have known about so far. But great racing for the lead right now, and I can't believe Giovinazzi and Piastri are the two battling for this lead after Hulkenberg and Lance Stroll were side by side. Speaking of side by side, we got Piastri and Giovinazzi. Will there be a move by Piastri going into 130R? He sends it in there. This just like that was Fernando Alonso and Michael Schumacher. I believe that was in 2005. What a move there, as the Australian Oscar Piastri is now in the lead here in Japan. The crowd is going crazy. There's a lot of Australian support here in Japan, but Antonio Giovinazzi is going to have the DRS, and so will Hulkenberg and Lance Stroll. I believe Oscar Piastri is going to be a sitting duck here. Maybe making the move to 130R isn't the best move, but Oscar Piastri does end up defending, and he stays into P2, but that could give Antonio Giovinazzi time to get away, and it looks like it's a decent gap there. It's 0.7 of a second. Piastri's going to have to battle and push on this lap to even get close again to the Italian of Antonio Giovinazzi. This could be major points for Team Italy today. They're currently dead last in the constructor standings with 1 measly point, and Antonelli clearly is not helping with that, as he is in P21 battling with Mahavir Ragunathan of all people and Isaac Hadjar, drivers he probably has seen coming up the ladder. Maybe not Ragunathan, who's a little bit older, but he's raced against Isaac Hadjar this year in Formula 2, so hopefully Antonelli can maybe start making a moves today, but it's not really looking very likely for him. But we still have this battle for the lead between Giovinazzi, Piastri, and Nico Hulkenberg. The pit window, I guess it's between lap 25 to 30 for the softs and around lap 30 to 35 for the medium tires, as everybody, like I said, is on softs or mediums as well. All their tires, I mean, they're looking a little bit worn. We got Giovinazzi and Piastri. They're going to be side by side again going through 130R here. No, they're not. I guess Piastri learned better from the last lap, as he did make up 6/10 on Giovinazzi last lap, so he might be actually setting the fastest lap here. But I think Piastri now is going to go for the lead, and let's ride on board with the young Australian who drives for the McLaren team, two-time Formula One race winner in Hungary and in Azerbaijan this year. Clearly not with an illegal DRS in Azerbaijan, but Oscar Piastri is now back in the lead. We're going to have a battle from Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg now sends it to the inside of Giovinazzi. Giovinazzi goes from first to third in a matter of a straightaway. Like I said, the DRS very overpowered here, and one thing you're going to want to have to do here in Japan is break that 1 second gap, because the DRS, like I just said, is incredibly overpowered, and you can see the top 8 have completely broken away from 9 all the way down to the rest of the grid. Tsunoda is holding up this grid, and Verstappen, we haven't even checked on him much in this race, has not made any progress at all. He started in P11, and now he's just currently running in P11. I expect more from the young Dutchman. Hopefully he can improve and just do a little bit better today. Oh, the safety car has just been called out with an incident between Ragunathan and Jack Crawford. What has Mahavir done? This is a battle for P19 here. We got Crawford and Ragunathan. What's happened here? Oh, Crawford and Ragunathan make contact and both are off the track. I don't know where Ragunathan is. Is he in the wall somewhere? I didn't get to see where Mahavir is, but he's just out. He just went flying off the track, and Ragunathan, unfortunately, has 2 races, and I believe he's got 2 DNFs. That kind of sucks for the GOAT right there. But the safety car is out. I'm not going to do a pit stop with Daruvala here. There's no point. Let's take a look at Ragunathan. Yeah, I can see he's just in the wall there. I guess he made contact. That sucks for Ragunathan's race and for Team India, but what can you do, I guess? What can you do? I don't know if there's going to be a penalty. It looks like Jack Crawford does have damage, but we'll have to see if anything will be applied to Jack Crawford there, because I think that's more his fault than Ragunathan's. Everybody is coming. A lot of people are coming to the pits now, as there was a penalty, a 5-second penalty applied to Jack Crawford, and everybody is coming to the pits except Jehan Daruvala. He's staying out. And look at everybody getting held up in the pits here. That is so unfortunate. Giovinazzi, who was leading the race, got held up by so much. I think this changes absolutely everything right now. That is so unfortunate. Everybody, are they going on to medium tires? It looks like they are. There's like absolutely no tire wear today. There's a few on softs. We'll have to see. Now might be a good time for Daruvala to come into the pits if all these guys got held up, but he's staying out. He's on 84% medium, so like he's looking pretty solid. Some guys have gone on to mediums and others have gone on to soft tires. We're going to see them coming out of the pits here, but it looks like there's a couple of big losers here. Giovinazzi was in the lead. He's down into 6th. Hulkenberg, he did all right. Russell somehow is now basically the net race leader, so he's done really well for himself. Good job there for George Russell. Stroll has made up a couple of spots. Sargeant made a couple. Piastri, he was up near the lead. He's fallen down to 8th. Max Verstappen is up into 9th. And everybody else doesn't really matter for the back of the grid here. But Alonso has lost out a ton. A lot of guys were double stacking there as well, which was so stupid. What a dumb strategy for these guys. Safety car is ending in this lap here as we have Jehan Daruvala. He's going to be in the lead of this race for driving for Team India, as his team did just crash out. Daruvala, we're going to put him into push mode here. Just get going, Jehan. We're going to put him in push and aggressive mode so he can push as much as he can. Let's go. Get going, Jehan. You're going to go. I'm going to probably switch the strategy from maybe medium to hard today, because he's going to be pushing. Let's see if he can get away. We have yellow flags in Sector 3. What has happened? Tsunoda's dropped back. Tsunoda has spun around. Let's take a look at the replay. What has happened? Did he just... He spun on his own. Oh, that is so unfortunate for Yuki in his home Grand Prix. Yuki's now going to be in last place. International team is not liking that. I guess this is why Yuki Tsunoda is the substitute and not a main driver. Unfortunate there for Yuki Tsunoda, but we're going to go back on board with Jehan Daruvala as he is defended against George Russell, as Daruvala in the lead at the moment now in this Grand Prix. He's looking extra racy today. He's going to be pushing as much as he can to fire up those medium tires and get away from George Russell. He's going to be pitting a lot earlier. Latifi ran wide in turn 1. That's just what goats do. I want to see what's going to happen here with Lewis Hamilton. Wow, Russell is pushing Jehan Daruvala through these corners. I want to see what happens with Lewis Hamilton, as he is the highest driver right now on soft tires. He's going to have to do another pit stop today, and so is, I believe, George Russell going to have to do another pit stop. I think he went medium, so we'll have to see what he can do. Is Russell going to set it on Daruvala? No, he doesn't, but Daruvala's going to be pushing like absolute heck now to get away. There's going to be no DRS on this lap, but in the next lap there will be DRS, so it will be very interesting to see what Daruvala can do or what George Russell can do. Hulkenberg still sitting in that podium position there. He's still in 3rd. I would love to see Hulkenberg get on a podium. I'm sure everybody would like to see Hulkenberg get on a podium. And also, don't forget about Max Verstappen. He's gained a couple positions during that safety car period. Piastri's lost out a lot of time there. I wonder what happened. He's looking a little slow there. we'll see what Russell can do. I don't think he's going to make a move now. He's probably just warming up those tires. His tires are about 12 laps newer than Jehan Daruvala's as Hulkenberg tries to send it on George Russell there. I guess he thought maybe there was a little bit of an open gap there. But let's see if Russell can make a move on Jehan Daruvala going for the lead of this race. Russell been a fantastic performer. He's been in 2 races so far. He's finished 3rd and he's finished 2nd. Finished 3rd in the Netherlands and 2nd last time out in Singapore. But what can he do today? He just lost out to Leclerc last weekend in Singapore. Let's see if George Russell can win in the United Kingdom. If he wins, I can almost guarantee you he's going to be back in that car next time, probably replacing Norris or replacing Hamilton. We'll just have to see. But Russell is like pushing Daruvala through these corners. He's driving excellent today. Russell is so close to Jehan Daruvala. Can Russell get the lead? He's going to have DRS. Let's see if Jehan Daruvala can now defend also from Nico Hulkenberg, or if he cannot defend from Hulkenberg. Doesn't look like it, as Hulkenberg now sends it in to the inside of Daruvala, as now Daruvala is up or down, I guess, into P3. I'm going to make a bold strategic call. Now, not at the moment, soon, to pit him onto hards and then go to the end of the race on the hards. I'm going to make my own strategy for him today instead of going on to the softs. But Russell now, on those new medium tires, is in the lead of the race. But Daruvala still does have the fastest lap, so he definitely is pushing on, which is good for him. Looks like Jehan Daruvala has been asked to pit at the end of this lap here. We're on lap 22 of 53, and you can see now he's fading just a little bit. I think his medium tires are just wearing out. But at the moment, lap 22 out of 53, we still have George Russell in the lead. Lance Stroll has made his way up into P2, and Hulkenberg has now made up his way into P3. And you can see Daruvala has lost that 1 second gap to Hulkenberg. So yeah, now would be a good time for him to come into the pits if he doesn't want to get overtaken by all of these cars. We've got a racy Giovinazzi and Hamilton behind him, and he's going to go on hards to the end of this race. I totally didn't make that strategy on my own. But yeah, here's Russell still in the lead. But we're going to watch Jehan Daruvala, see if he can somehow put in a good in-lap here and see where he's going to be coming out of the pits, because I think he's going to be in a plenty of clean air with a lot of these drivers still having to make another pit stop. This could be a great strategy or a completely terrible strategy for Team India. We'll just have to see how it ends up playing out. But yeah, guys, it's going to be quite interesting. We're going to stay on board with Daruvala because he's the only one going to be doing something on this lap. Russell has been defending every single lap. Surprisingly, hasn't been switched around a lot with the DRS, which usually happens in these sort of races, as Lewis Hamilton is sending it on the inside of Antonio Giovinazzi, and Hamilton now is up into P5. That's a good move for him because Daruvala is coming into the pits. Now Hamilton is going to have the DRS also. He's going to be up into a net P4. What an excellent opportunistic move there for the British driver Lewis Hamilton. But we're watching Daruvala in the pits. He's going to come out probably in dead last. Alonso and Sainz have been battling a little bit too. They're in 17th and 18th, having a terrible race here in Japan. The Spanish team has really fallen off recently, and I really don't know why. Both drivers have been forming pretty good up until like a couple races ago. This could be 3 races in a row without a point for that team. Just as Jehan Daruvala has come out of the pits, the safety car is out. And what has happened to Alexander Albon? DRS is disabled. I was just making strategies here for Jehan Daruvala, and Albon running 10th on his own apparently just crashed. What has happened here? He just lost the rear of the car and destroys it into the wall there. I believe he's okay. He just swore on the radio there. Sorry about that one, guys. It's not looking like an excellent race for the international team. As you can see, there's Albon, as everybody else is going to be coming into the pits again. This might just completely ruin the strategy now for Jehan Daruvala. That sucks for him, because he was going to be doing a really good lap, as everybody, like I said, is coming into the pits, and they're going to be all getting a free pit stop. You can see now everybody is behind the safety car again, and we have another difference in tire strategies. I don't know why others have gone on to the softs, for example, but I do understand why Lance Stroll and Giovinazzi and Hamilton have gone on to the mediums. We have Russell and Sargeant on softs. Verstappen's on new mediums again. Daruvala is on those hards. Like, we just saw him come into the pits. But yeah, I don't think these guys can make it to the end on the softs. So this might be a very interesting strategy today. We'll have to see at the end of this safety car period if they can somehow nurse these tires to the end, but I highly doubt that, so they're probably going to have to do another pit stop, which is going to be very exciting. Safety car is ending on lap 27 out of 53. We have about half the race to go here. Lance Stroll on new hard, with George Russell on new soft tires, as we are now green again. Russell is going to want to absolutely just blow past Lance Stroll and take the lead here. But if he can't, this could be a terrible strategy for the United Kingdom and George Russell today. Let's see if he gets a good launch off the corner. He does. He's already in the slipstream of Lance Stroll, and now he's out of the slipstream. I guess he warmed up his tires too much. Maybe he's trying to cool him down. But George Russell looks like he's going to be side by side with Lance Stroll going into turn. But no, Lance Stroll does end up defending it. Who's that off the track? That's Logan Sargeant. He's into the gravel. What has happened there? Logan Sargeant just completely ruined his braking zone. Sargeant had a lockup there. We saw him go wide. Now he's down into 16th already. That completely ruins his good chance of points. That sucks for we just saw that live. That's very, very hilarious. And now look at George Russell pushing Lance Stroll through these corners. Is he going to try to make a move? I thought he was going to there. Now it's not the spot to do it, George. Maybe down at the end of this mini straightaway here. Can Lance Stroll defend against George Russell? He doesn't. He does defend. Russell's to make a move. We got a car in the gravel there. That's Max. Is that Max Verstappen? That's not Max Verstappen. That's Nick de Vries in the gravel as he's falling down the grid here. What happened there? Nick de Vries had a lockup. What is happening on this restart? We're taking a look at the replay now. What happened to Nick de Vries? I thought it was Verstappen there, but no. Nick de Vries just completely locks up and just goes off the track. Very interesting there to see what happened between Nick de Vries. And we're just trying to watch George Russell and Lance Stroll battle as all these guys are just taking themselves out here. That's hilarious. I'm not going to lie. That's really funny if you ask me. Let's see if George Russell now can make a move on Lance Stroll. Will he make a move through the inside of 130? There's going to be no DRS at the end of on the next lap here going in to lap 29, so maybe Russell just needs to maximize the exit and get a good slipstream heading down into turn 1. Here at the exit of the corner, Russell's looking pretty close, but I don't know why he gets out of the slipstream. F1 Manager does that quite a lot. It's not the smartest thing for the AI to do, but Russell looks like he is kind of conserving his tires. And now we're gonna have Giovinazzi and George Russell now side by side into turn 1. Giovinazzi got the better slipstream because Russell decided just to leave the slipstream there as Giovinazzi is up into P2. No, he's not. George Russell is still keeping his nose in there as they're battling left and right through the S's in Suzuka here. Incredible battling between the Italian and the great British driver. That's killing, I believe this is killing Russell's tires quite a lot, and somehow Lance Stroll on those hards has not even gained any time as these two are side by side. If I was Lance Stroll, I'd be pushing like absolute heck right now, but Giovinazzi gets up into P2. Now he's got those medium tires. Can he make a move as we got, who was that, Hulkenberg battling Lewis Hamilton now for 4th position in this race? Can Hulkenberg battle back to get back onto the podium? That's that safety car before. It completely ruined his strategy. It's looking good for Daruvala as we're going to have probably a Piastri, Vettel, Hulkenberg, and Russell all pit again. So Daruvala could be scoring big points today for Team India. And I believe Verstappen might end up getting on the podium today if he keeps this up with those medium tires. He's probably going to go to the end, but we'll just have to see. It's going to be very close. But DRS is going to be enabled on the next lap here. We're going to see if Antonio Giovinazzi, maybe Russell and Hamilton could all get out ahead of Lance Stroll, who is on hards, and you can clearly tell those hards not the best race tire at the moment, as I believe there was some side-by-side action between Hulkenberg and Hamilton. There was. Hamilton just got overtaken by Hulkenberg, but now Giovinazzi has the DRS, so does George Russell, and everybody else has the DRS on Lance Stroll. Can Lance Stroll go from first? He's side-by-side now. He's still in second, but now he's probably going to get overtaken by George Russell. Though he doesn't. Lance Stroll does end up defending that, and Giovinazzi now is trying to get away. This could be huge for Antonio Giovinazzi, the Italian Jesus, who scored 1 point so far in this World Cup. 1 point Italy has scored in this World Cup, all from the courtesy of Giovinazzi, is now in the lead by half a second. I thought it would have been a little bit more, but Lance Stroll has ended up keeping the gap fairly close. We are on lap 37 out of 53, and I just realized I haven't even run down the grid yet. So in the lead right now is George Russell by half a second to Lance Stroll, who's running in P2. They're probably going to swap for positions here. Antonio Giovinazzi is running in 3rd, having a great race for Team Italy, with Nico Hulkenberg in 4th, just on the fringes of his first ever F1 machinery podium. Hamilton is in 5th as he just like you can see, just set the fastest lap of the race, with Max Verstappen having an excellent comeback drive. He's watching these guys battle. He's in to P6. Sebastian Vettel for Team Germany is running in P7, with Oscar Piastri for Team Australia running in P8. Jehan Daruvala is on these hard tires, probably going to be scoring good points today. He's running in P9. What a good tire strategy for him. Andrea Kimi Antonelli, 4 seconds behind Daruvala, but he's holding up a train of the rest of the field. If Antonelli can defend this, he will be scoring a point today, so it'll be very interesting to see if he can end up holding on. Yuki Tsunoda, the home hero, had a lockup and a spin earlier on. He's in 11th. He's recovered from this race, but he is on softs, so it's going to be a little tricky for him. Esteban Ocon also on softs. He is in 12th. Logan Sargeant was running in like 4th, then he had a lockup. Now he's down to P13. Daniel Ricciardo, he has a mechanical fault. That's what that symbol is. He is running, nursing an issue, I guess. He's running in P14. The GOAT, Nicholas Latifi, running in P15 after a podium last time out in Singapore. Jack Crawford running in P16 at the moment. Isaac Hadjar running in P17. Look at those beautiful trees in the background there in Japan. Terrible, terrible race today for Fernando Alonso and Carlos Sainz, who are P18 and P19 for Team Spain. I don't know what's going on there. Their team has fallen off a cliff. And in dead last, currently running, is Nick de Vries. Once again, 9 seconds on the back of the grid here when he's just doing absolutely atrocious right now. As Lance Stroll now, you can see he's in the lead of this race, but looks like it's going to be an overtake for Giovinazzi. Maybe it's Russell. We're going to go 4 wide again. This might be the second time. It wasn't 4 wide, but look at this. We have Russell and Lance Stroll. The soft tires versus the hards. The softs, I don't know if they're the right tire strategy to be on, as Hamilton and Hulkenberg now are side by side. Now they're not anymore, as Verstappen, like I said, has up into 6 now. He's closed this gap up to the leaders with 15 laps to go. I believe it's going to be easy for the mediums and hards to go to the end of this race. It's going to be very tough for the drivers on soft tires. We could have another Australia situation today. Will we have tire blowups or will we not have tire blowups? It'll all depend on the tire wear and tire preservation of these drivers in the top 9. The top 9, they're all within about 3 seconds here. And then, like I said, there is a big gap between, I guess it's now Esteban Ocon who's leading this train, as Antonelli has fallen back down into P12. We now have 5 laps to go, and Lance Stroll currently is your leader. You can see these soft tire runners on 36, 40, 33, 36%. Logan Sargeant, who was on softs, had to pit again right now. So did Jack Crawford. Both of the American drivers, you can see, did not like their set of soft tires that they just had. Now they're on a new set of soft tires going to the end. We'll have to see. We have 5 laps to go, like I just said. And can Russell nurse these tires to the end, or will it be a Lance Stroll, who started on pole, by the way, or Lewis Hamilton win today? Giovinazzi is up into P4. Verstappen's 5th. Vettel is 6th. Hulkenberg is 7th. Hulkenberg has not nursed those soft tires very well. He's 7% worse than Sebastian Vettel, sorry, who's better than Nico Hulkenberg at the moment. But the battle really right now that we're trying to watch with 5 to go is this battle for the race win. It's going to be down to see if these soft tires can survive. If not, Daruvala will be up into like a lofty P5 if none of these guys can make it to the end. I'm looking a little worried for Nico Hulkenberg. He's on 32%. I think Vettel might be able to squeeze it up, but we're going to have a battle for the lead here between Hamilton and Lance Stroll. Hamilton is now retaking the lead here in Japan. Those medium tires are looking extra solid for him, and Lance Stroll on those hards is going to make it to the end quite easily. Russell, I don't know if he's got the grip anymore to even battle any of these guys. I don't know about Giovinazzi as well. He's on the mediums. Same with Verstappen. I think Russell might drop down the grid just a little bit here today. I think that second safety car that we had really screwed him over, as we are on lap 50 out of 53, and maybe Hamilton now can finally get his first race win in this World Cup. And as it stands right now, it's going to be a double podium for the United Kingdom team, and right now it's going to be only 1 point for the international team, as Tsunoda is running in 10th and Albon is out. No Charles Leclerc, like I said today, but Great Britain has performed incredibly well in this World Cup so far, except race 1 where they had a double DNF due to no fault of their own, as Lance Stroll just sent, and my voice just cracked, as he overtook Lewis Hamilton in an overtaking spot, which I don't even know existed. What an incredible move there for Lance Stroll. Those hard tires giving him the grip that he needs. Maybe Hamilton's medium tires are wearing out. Hulkenberg is on 30%, Russell's on 33%. They're in tire puncture territory now. I believe anything in the 20s, which Hulkenberg is at right now, is puncture territory. So we'll have to see if any of these guys can make it to the end. Maybe, like I said, Sebastian Vettel, but I don't know. It's going to be very close, as Daruvala has just overtaken Tsunoda, I believe. I'm not sure what happened there. But now Lance Stroll is getting battled again by Hamilton, and Russell just does not have the tire grip. He's good enough with the DRS to stay ahead of Giovinazzi, but he doesn't have the tire grip to stay close to Lance Stroll at all. I think Ricciardo just lost the position to Sainz. Like I said, he does have that mechanical fault, which is not good for him, but we're on 3 laps to go here. It's going to be a battle, I think, between Lance Stroll and Lewis Hamilton. Two unlikely driver, I mean, not unlikely for Hamilton, but unlikely for Lance Stroll to perform this well. And let's give some respect to Team Canada. They got a P3 last time in Singapore with Nicholas Latifi, as Logan Sargeant just had the fastest lap of the race. He's on softs. Not that there is a lap for fastest lap, no point for fastest lap, but Team Canada has been very underrated in this World Cup. I think Giovinazzi is going to be scoring great points today for Team Italy. This could be a great turnout for them. Antonelli has made his way back up into P10. Tsunoda now has dropped down to P11. He's probably going to have to pit again. As look at this, Nico Hulkenberg, 27% tire wear. He might drop under the 20s in the next 3/2 laps to go here. It's going to be very close on this tire wear. I'm very excited. We saw what happened in Australia with the tires. Today, it's going to be what's going to happen in Japan with these tires, as we're going to be entering 2 laps to go, as Jack Crawford now has a mechanical fault. I don't think it's tire wear. No, it's just a mechanical fault, but he has used those tires like crazy. He pitted already. He's already on 80%, and now Lance Stroll going to have the slipstream with Lewis Hamilton here. I think Lewis Hamilton's going to have slipstream with 1 lap to go, as Lance Stroll, is he going to make the move? He's trying to send it around the outside. Hamilton is trying to stick it around the inside, but Lance Stroll does end up sending it, and he is cleared Hamilton going into the S. No, he has cleared Hamilton. Hamilton is fighting back. George Russell's tire wear is now within the 20s, and Lance Stroll has cleared Hamilton in the S section to take the lead here. Very good driving there for Lance Stroll. Can now Lance Stroll end up defending Hamilton here? It's going to be lap 52 out of 53. Next lap is going to be the last one. I don't know if Lance Stroll's going to have the tire wear or DRS or anything to defend on Hamilton. I thought he was going to just sit back and wait, because I think the last lap is the best time to overtake here. But at the moment, still have no tire punctures at all. This could be huge for all the drivers who end up on these soft tires. It's going to be very close. Antonelli still running in P10 here. He has managed this quite well, but maybe Tsunoda can fight back. I'm very worried about Hulkenberg. He's still got a lap and a half to go here, but it's going to be down, I think, between Lewis Hamilton. And what about Antonio Giovinazzi? Can he get on the podium today? George Russell's falling back a little bit. We're going to see if Hamilton now can make an overtake on Lance Stroll, or will Hamilton come second for the 3rd time in this World Cup? He needs a win. He's been performing so well for the United Kingdom. As we round the final corners, going into the final lap, I think Hamilton's going to be close enough to make a move. We are on the final lap now. Hamilton has the DRS. George Russell did enough to get the DRS on, I believe that was Hamilton or Lance Stroll, but Hamilton has cleared Lance Stroll here on the final lap with those tires. Hulkenberg is on 23% tire wear. I hope he doesn't get a puncture on this last lap here. That would be horrible for him, but Hamilton is in the lead. Lance Stroll is in second. George Russell currently is making it a double podium for the United Kingdom, but Ken Giovinazzi Russell is nursing these tires. He is having a tire wear masterclass at the moment. Can he make it to the end? What about Lewis Hamilton and Lance Stroll? They're side by side. Lance Stroll sent it on Lewis Hamilton. Lance Stroll is back in the lead on the last lap of this race. What a move for Lance Stroll. Those hard tires, looks like they have way more grip than Hamilton on the medium tires, but Hamilton's gonna have another chance to overtake him down the next couple corners here. Will he could even make a move going into 130R. It's going to be very close, but I think Hamilton just lost another race when he let Lance Stroll send it on him. Can Lance Stroll win this race in Japan from pole? He's been on form all weekend this weekend. Out of everybody, I can't believe Lance Stroll. I'm saying that about him, but he's doing fantastic, as now they're heading into 130R. Hamilton's going to try and send it. I mean, he's got absolutely nothing to lose. Can Hamilton send it to 130R? No. Lance Stroll does defend him. There's one more corner to go. Can Lance Stroll defend against Lewis Hamilton? I think he's going to, as we round the final corner. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Lance Stroll for Team Canada is going to outduel Lewis Hamilton in Japan, and he wins in Japan with Hamilton in second and Russell making it a double United Kingdom podium. Giovinazzi finishes fourth with Verstappen in fifth. We have a win for Lance Stroll. Absolutely unbelievable race today. Lance Stroll comes across the line to win in Japan. What a fantastic performance for him and for Team Canada.
With such skill and passion, they barely put a foot wrong.
Vettel ends up finishing in sixth. None of the drivers on the soft tires did end up having to pit again. Piastri was 7th, Hulkenberg was 8th, Daruvala was 9th, Antonelli scores his first points in this World Cup. Good job for him. Unfortunately, Tsunoda in for Team Japan, or Team International driving for Japan, did not score any points today. At the end of round 6 in Japan, here's what your driver standings look like. Charles Leclerc still in the lead with 83 points, but Verstappen has closed the gap by 10 points. Now he's 11 behind Charles Leclerc at 72, with Charles Leclerc's at 83. But Leclerc will be back in Jeddah, so it looks like we're having a great title fight between Leclerc, Verstappen, and Hamilton, who is in third with 62 points, 23 points now behind Charles Leclerc, who is in the lead. Then we got fourth is Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll's been unbelievable in this World Cup. Only one race he hasn't scored. Russell is in fifth. He's been doing fantastic. I guess he's going to be back in, maybe, or maybe not. We'll have to see what the United Kingdom does next race. Spain, Alonso for Team Spain is in sixth. He's gone 3 races in a row without scoring. Norris is in seventh. We got Sainz in eighth. Daniel Ricciardo in 9th with 27 points. And rounding out the top 10 is Sebastian Vettel with 26. He's been performing pretty solid this World Cup. Albon is in 11th with Piastri in 12th, scoring 6, 6, and 6 points in the last 3 races. Good job for him. Latifi is in 13th with Daruvala in 14th. Logan Sargeant's in 15th. Ocon is in 16th. Giovinazzi getting a P4 today. He's in 17th. Hulkenberg is in 18th. Maini with 2 points is 19th. Gasly is in 20th. He's been pretty terrible this World Cup. And Andrea Kimi Antonelli is the last point scorer in 21st. From 22nd to 23rd or 33rd, all have 0 points. We got Nick De Vries, Tsunoda, Pepe Marti, Jack Crawford, Richard Verschoor, Isaac Hadjar, Gabriele Mini, Mick Schumacher, Jack Doohan, Jacques Villeneuve, Juan Manuel Correa, and Ragunathan sits in dead last. In the constructor standings, the United Kingdom has a massive lead now as they're at 143 points to International, who is in second place with 108. Spain's in third with 65. Canada is in fourth with 75. Netherlands is in fifth with 72. In sixth is Australia with 49. Seventh is Germany with 34. Eighth is France with 16. Ninth is India with 16. 10th is the United States. And tied for dead last in 10th is Italy with 14th. So guys, that is going to wrap it up for this episode of the World Cup. Please stay tuned and get ready for next time out in Saudi Arabia. It's going to be a good one. With that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.